my buddy Thomas Hobbes. We already met him. Thomas Hobbes says that the only thing that drives human beings is the twofold endeavor, appetite and aversion. That means the things that we want to like, we want to eat, we call that love, and the things that we fear or we hate, we call that aversion, and that's it. People are love-hate machines, that's all there is to it. So the only thing that drives us are these two, these twofold endeavor, the appetite and aversion business. Okay, so what kind of government would you develop? And Hobbes says, let's think what the state of nature would be like where there's no laws and no rules. What would people really do if they had no laws? It's a pretty horrible world view. He says in the state of nature, that's the same thing as the state of war, of everyone against everyone. The war of all against all, a constant chaotic mess. Sort of think of what happened at Katrina. Suddenly there's no police and people are killing each other. Or Darfur, another lovely example of a world where there's no clear rules or laws. People are without any limits in their appetites and their aversion. They do whatever they please. So Hobbes says people are not naturally in favor of any kind of order. In the state of nature, for Hobbes, everybody has a natural right to everything. That doesn't sound like it makes too much sense. What do you mean everybody has a natural right to everything? It says in the state of nature, I own you, you own me. If I can stop you, knock you down and chew you up for dinner, then so be it. Because nobody else owns anything other than whatever you can hold on to. That's a horrible state. And so let me read a little something about what Hobbes actually said. I'll read a little passage here. It says, in the state of nature there will be no arts, no letters, no society, and which is worst of all, continual fear and danger of violent death. And here's my favorite line in the world. And the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. That's nature for you. He has a very different idea than some of the other people that follow him. Nature is not a place you want to be. And I always like this when I think like the eco-feminists have their view of how nature, we have to be nice to nature. Nature will eat you. Just want to meet nature? Stop paying your utilities bill. And you meet nature. You want to see human nature? Eliminate all laws. You can see nature. Imagine that world. That's a horrible world. So Locke says, based on this problem, that human beings are egoistic, and in our basic human nature is to do whatever we can for ourselves. We don't like that. And so there's three natural laws. And the first natural law is if only we could seek peace, we wouldn't have this terrible situation. The second natural law is the only way to seek peace is that we have to give up all of our natural rights. In other words, the only way I'm not going to be afraid of you and you're not going to be afraid of me, or you're not going to be afraid of her and she's not going to be afraid of him, is if nobody owns anything. And the only way that can work is if we all give everything we own to the sovereign or the king or the queen. And the sovereign then owns everything. So if I take anything from anyone, I'm really taking it away from the sovereign. Now the third natural law. If I ever take that stuff back, the sovereign kills me. And so as Hobbes says, in a perfect government, which he calls the Leviathan, the job of the sovereign or the government is to create laws and to enforce those laws. So the third natural law is to keep our contracts. In other words, keep our covenants. Another way to say it. So what are the three natural laws? Seek peace. In other words, life in this wild state of nature is terrible. 2, lay down your natural rights to all things. That means give everything to some sovereign who owns everything now. And 3, keep your contracts. And if you don't keep your contracts, you are now an outlaw, which means the entire state will declare war on you. Because now it's this war of all against all, but you're the only one who's not in the state, so there's the whole government at war at you, against you. So when you steal that candy bar for 7-Eleven, that is declaring war on the federal government. It will kill. No, they won't, actually. But anyway, that's what Hobbes would say they should have done if they wanted. See you later. Till next week. Enjoy Hobbes and the Middle Ages, and hopefully you had a good time with your paper. I hadn't read them yet, but I will this weekend. Bye.